morning. This is John Big Dog Wagner coming at you. You notice things are a little different. Yep, I'm no longer with Super Ego. I finally made the jump. And not because I wasn't making money. I left Super Ego because of irreconcilable differences based on my truck and things I dealt with when I first got my truck. I got tired of fighting with them about it. I fought them about it for a year and a half. My manager even fought them about it. He was the last one to fight about it. In fact, from the results of him fighting about it, he also left Super Ego. So I'm with another company now. I'm in a 579 Ultra Loft with a Cummins engine. This one is temporary while they get me a new one. I'm at 88% now, no longer 75%. With the truck, I get 500,000 mile warranty on the engine, 750,000 mile warranty on the transmission. So I'm not responsible for any major repairs for at least the first 2.5 years based on the way that I run. I made money up to my last day. My last payout with the $1,000 payment to go towards repairs, I still took home $2,500. So I made my money at Super Ego. And I have no problems with my ability to make money at Super Ego. As I told you guys before, I grew up in DC. I grew up in a time period where respect was big. Disrespect wasn't tolerated. And that's why things I dealt with when I first got there was still bugging me. So that's my reason for leaving the company. The company is still up and functional. The company is still running. I ran loads to my last day. My last delivery was Monday morning. What is interesting is when I went to the new company, there were a few people there that were also from Super Ego, and they were singing that usual song that you always hear about Super Ego was a scam, can't make no money, blah, 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 blah. So while we were all sitting at the orientation table, I said, okay, you guys weren't making any money. I said, I'm interested to hear how you were doing your breakdowns to the side on your loads. And the response that I got was, what are you talking about? I'm like, the breakdown on your load, when you figure out how much fuel it's going to cost you to run the load, how much you're going to make per day, based on, your breakdown. They said, don't know anything about that. Nobody ever told me that. I never learned anything about that. So can you please explain it to us now? Because we need to know that for here. So I'm asking him, I said, well, what were you basing your decision on for whether or not you wanted to take the load or not? Oh, well, we just trusted the dispatcher. Dispatcher said, take this load. We took this load. I'm like, wow. So you guys literally took loads without knowing whether or not you had money in the load. You took no responsibility on figuring out if you even had any money in the load. And yet, you blame the company for not making any money. And see, that's what I've been talking about in these videos this whole time. You have to know the details. You have to know what it's going to cost you to run that load. Your goal in these lease purchase companies, I don't care what lease purchase company you go to. Your goal in this lease purchase business is to make money. It's not to pay somebody else to run their stuff. That's like going to work at a regular job, but instead of you getting a paycheck, you're going to pay them to be able to work at their place. That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. If you're going to do that, you might as well just go get a regular job. Why be out here running all these miles, being away from home all this time, trying to be a business owner, but yet you have no idea, no clue how to run your business? That's like opening up a restaurant, but you don't know how to cook. I mean, come on, people. I know common sense ain't common, but at some point, you gotta at least be reasonable, be able to ration out stuff. You know what I mean? You get into business, you open up a business because it's something you know how to do. And it's something that you feel that you do well enough to where you can make money at it. That's why you open up a business. A person who's been riding and working with horses all their life opens up a business as a horse trainer. Right? A person who's been digging ditches all their life opens up a business in excavation. They do something that they know how to do. And if you don't know what you're doing, you ain't never cooked a meal in your whole life, but you want to open up a restaurant. So, yeah, I'm talking to people and they've never heard about breaking down your load, have no idea how to break down your load, have no clue what money was or was not in the loads, and at the same time they complaining about they didn't make any money. I ended up talking to a dude. He was like, yeah, I was still over there doing my paperwork, but I was overhearing the conversation that you were having with these people, and I couldn't believe their answers. I couldn't believe their responses. It was like it was almost comical. So, if you're going to go lease purchase, I don't care what company you go with. If you're going to go lease purchase, you have to know. You have to take time to learn. You have to find out what it takes to run your business and make money. You're not a company driver. You don't get paid automatically just because you drove 2,000, 3,000 miles. There's nobody that's going to come to you to say, okay, well, you drove all these miles, so I feel bad for you, so I'm going to give you $1,000. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. have to be responsible and you have to take control of your business. You have to know when they offer you a load if there's money in it or not. Before you make the decision, yes or no on the load. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're in the wrong business. You need to either find out, ask somebody, ask questions, figure out what you need to know to run your business, or go back to driving for company. I'm not going to ever recommend somebody go do something just to lose money. That just doesn't make sense. And not only will you feel stupid doing it on my recommendation, I'm going to look stupid for telling you to do it. That just doesn't make sense. There are a lot of lease purchase companies out there. Everything from companies that offer lease purchase, you can be a company driver or you can do lease purchase, to just flat out lease purchase companies. But if you decide to make the decision to go to lease purchase, do your homework. Take time to figure out what it takes to make money doing lease purchase. To sit there and listen to somebody say, break down your load, what is that? Nobody ever told me that. I don't even know what to say to that. What's worse is one of the people was running teams. As a team driver, how do you make money? How do you not make money? I mean, you're running a truck almost 24 hours a day as a team driver. You're running that truck literally damn near 24 hours a day as a team driver. They said they was getting payouts like $300 to split between the two of them. What the hell? As a solo driver, I'm making thousands. And as a team driver, you split $300? That don't make sense to me. I can't even begin to compute that. That just doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, yep, I'm on to a new page in my venture. This new company hit a few bumps in the road already, nothing major, nothing I can't deal with. Got those bumps worked out, and I'm on the road to my first delivery. First delivery, I'm headed to Iowa, actually in Iowa now. Stayed at Iowa 80 last night. That's always a good stop, comfortable, relaxing. Finished organizing a lot of my stuff in the new truck. Don't want to make it too comfortable because all the stuff I put in here, I got to transfer out when my actual new truck comes in. When it comes in, they're going to route me back to the home office to pick that up, and I got to move all this shit over again. So, but at least I'm going from an ultra loft to an ultra loft. So everything that I got positioned now, I kind of know where it's got to go. Going from a T680 to an ultra loft, the compartment spaces are different. The room you have in the compartment spaces are different. So how you got to organize your stuff is different. In some cases, the compartments are better. In other cases, not so much. But you got to deal with that whenever you go from truck to truck. out of all the trucks that I've driven, if you're looking for a compartment, for room in your compartments, I gotta say that the Freightliner, commonly known as the freight shaker, for me, had the most room in compartments. Had the most room in compartment space. The T680 was a downsized in compartment space. You know, the cabinets and all that stuff was smaller than the Freightliner. However, the T680 handled and ran a lot better than the Freightliner. So that was a sacrifice worth making. Going from the T680 to the Ultra Loft, the cabinet space up front is a little bit smaller. Your closet space is a lot bigger. In my T680, I had clothes hanging in their closet, and I had clothes on a hook hanging off the side of one of the storage bins. In this one, all my clothes, and I don't got to double up my pants twice, all my clothes are in the closet. So the closet is bigger. Cabinet space for your dry goods and stuff like that isn't bad. That's pretty decent. I don't have all the room that I had for my folded clothes, but I can work that out. It's a little fancier. It's got more stuff in it. Definitely got a lot more room in the Ultra Loft. Oh my God, I love it. And for a big guy like me, that's the difference. Got a lot more room in the Ultra Loft. As far as drivability, I still got the Cummins engine, so it still runs a lot like that T680 did. So I'm happy to still have that. Safe to say I'm happier in the Ultra Loft. At least for now, I'm happy with the Ultra Loft. The one thing the Ultra Loft has that the T680 didn't is all that drive assist crap. It doesn't have a smart drive, so it doesn't automatically brake for you because somebody cut you off. But it still has all that drive assist, lane assist crap. So if one sensor goes out, all that stuff is done. And when that stuff is done, you lose your cruise control and all that stuff. So not happy about that, but there's pros and cons in every vehicle. When that stuff goes out, yeah, you don't have cruise control, but you can still drive your truck, so not a big deal. Not a big deal. Anyway, just wanted to drop in, say hey, let you guys know that there has been a change, but I'm still out here doing my thing. Y'all be safe out there. Make your money.